children do what they like and adults like what they do. And I had an amazing thought this morning of another acronym. Sometimes we get in we like to call a bad mood. And I was thinking, what is a bad mood? And then I realized that mood can also stand for manifestation of own decisions. That means we get an offer when we wake up to feel in a bad mood, and we say, oh, I'm in a bad mood, and we decide that we're in a bad mood, and then guess what? When we decide we're in a bad mood, we become in a bad mood, and then the cycle just repeats on from there. And I want to connect this back to what the Yidden did right inside of Mitzrayim that made them zoicha to be taken out of Mitzrayim, to have Yetzias Mitzrayim. And we all know the famous three things that they did is they never changed their names, they never changed their language, and they never changed their clothing. Now you might ask, what does this have to do with choice of mood and choice of decisions? Well, I would say it has very much to do with it. And the reason is as follows. The way we change behavior is always backwards. Don't try and change the thought, and don't even try and change the way you speak or your promises, but change the behavior itself. Just like if you're in a bad mood, pretend to be happy, and eventually you will be happy. And you can even go in the mirror and give yourself a smile, and guess what? It will increase your mood. Now, the same is with Mitzrayim. We can learn from them a very incredible lesson. In Mitzrayim, they knew, we are in Mitzrayim. This is difficult. We are being offered a very difficult environment by the world and by Hashem. And they decided to focus on three areas. Machshava, Dibur, Maisa. First, they started with the Maisa. Behavior change first starts with the Maisa, the behavior. Then it goes up to speech, which is commitments and the way you communicate with others. And then eventually it trickles down into your thoughts and into your brain and your mind and your spirit. And I want to point out how the three things they were careful of in Mitzrayim directly connect to Machshava, Dibur, Maisa. First of all, the actions. They dressed with modesty. They dressed with modesty and they never changed their clothing. That was Maisa. This is what they did. They didn't change their clothing. Dibur is language. They didn't change the way they spoke. And finally, Machshava is they didn't think about themselves in a different way. They kept their names or they kept their identities. Another way of saying identity is the way that we think of ourselves or the way we are perceived or want to be perceived by others. And I just wanted to take those 3 points out of the parasha and invite you and invite myself as well to look where we can apply this in our own lives and take what life has given us and refuse to be a subject of our environment and a subject of our mood, and make a decision to be happy and to have the right, and in turn have the right things happen to us. Thank you for watching and have a great Shabbos.